Allowed to get a tattoo is a common question. The answer is found in the book of Leviticus Chapter 19, where God speaks to Moses and tells him to tell the Jewish people that they may not make any mark of a letter or a shape on their skin using the means of tattooing. So the answer is no. It's a scriptural commandment. It's one of the 613 commandments that Jews have, and a Jew is not allowed to get a real tattoo. The other kinds of tattoos, which are like stickers for kids that stay around for like a few days, those are permitted. And if it's permanent makeup, there's a question. You gotta ask your local rabbi. But there's actually a very interesting misconception that comes from this. And that is, some people believe that if you get a tattoo, you won't be buried in a Jewish cemetery, and that's just simply not true. Where this belief originates is when people would die in war, and you would try and figure out which person who died should be buried in a Jewish cemetery and which should be buried in a not Jewish cemetery. People would often say, oh, well, since Jews don't get tattoos, then must be that if this person has a tattoo, we shouldn't bury them in a Jewish cemetery. But that's unfortunately not the reality today. There are many Jews, many of them are very sincere and committed, but have not grown up Orthodox. And so those people have tattoos, and it doesn't detract from their Judaism. And so they will be buried in a Jewish cemetery should they choose. And so it's important to note that even though it is a commandment in the Torah not to have a tattoo, if someone has a tattoo, that's not a barrier to any kind of observance of Judaism. It's common to see a lot of even Hasidic Jews who grew up not Orthodox and have these big tattoos. And it's fine, because that's the way they grew up, except, they grew up and they realize it's something they wouldn't have done in retrospect. But, once they've realized that, they go on with their lives as Jews. Again, there are more subtle questions, like I mentioned with permanent makeup. Is it permitted or not? It's debated among the rabbis, so every person needs to find out. Is it a problem for immersion in a mikvah and other issues? But that's beyond the scope of this video. Thank you so much for listening.